right, up next, a look at the latest business headlines with our money men, Seth Denson and Dan Geltrude. And then a little bit later in the hour, everyone, now it's time to take a look at the latest business headlines. And for help with that, we're going to bring in our money men, business and markets analyst and NewsMax contributor Seth Denson and Montclair State University accounting professor Dan Geltrude. Good morning to you both. The band is back together. Let's jump into this. So the markets, they finished the day up, but will they end the week on a high note? This morning, futures are up ahead of the opening bell. Okay, so a big move from GameStop, the company appointing activist investor, founder of online pet food retailer Chewy, also known as the king of the meme stocks, Ryan Cohen, as its brand new CEO. Seth, to you first. So what's significant about this, and how did investors react to the news?
We'll start with the latter first. Investors don't really care, apparently. Stock was down, although pre-trading is up a little bit this morning. We'll see if it continues to go there. I think this is significant because Ryan Cohen, who's the largest shareholder of GameStop, he holds just under 15% of the stock. He did wonders with Chewy and really developed a company that came into a stale market and found a new way of doing it. I'm curious to see if he can do that with GameStop. They don't produce anything. They're a retailer of a product that's mostly done online through downloads now. If he can do it, it will set his legacy. If he can't, it's okay. He's still a billionaire.
Yeah, he'll be all right. So how about this one? So former fitness foes, Peloton and Lululemon, they're teaming up. So Dan, tell us about what the duo is planning. I mean, I would say this is a win for Peloton. They've been struggling for since the pandemic. Tell us more about this one.
So this is one of those situations where we see two former foes, two adversaries getting together. Why? For mutual benefit. Look, this is not unusual. It's not like companies hold grudges. They're all driven by one thing, and that is to make more money for their investors. So when you have a situation, as you just said, where Peloton has been struggling post-pandemic, now there's a situation where they could come together, figure out how to put all that synergy in one place and make more money for their investors. It's a good move.
Yeah, definitely, especially
Alex,
for Peloton.
I think it's important to note here, Alex, I think they've been watching NewsMax. Here's why. Dan and I have both been saying for well over a year now on this show that for Peloton to recover and get back to their days of glory, remember, this is a stock that was over $160 a share at one point. It's around $4 a share now. That for them to do it, they had to partner with someone like Lululemon. I think they're watching.
They're watching. You know that they are. That just proves it right there, Seth. Fantastic point. Okay, guys, so October, it's hard to believe. It's just 2 days away. And those deferred student loan repayments are about to kick in again for millions of Americans. Dan, I'm going to go back to you on this one. So could we be bracing ourselves for a tough fourth quarter for the U.S. economy?
Yeah, we could be, and for a number of reasons. First of all, if we look at what's going on with the student loan repayments starting, and by the way, you borrow money, you got to pay it back, just as a side note. Look, we're talking about potentially up to $8 billion a month being pulled out of the economy in terms of what would have been potentially spent that's now going to pay student loans. But look, when you start to focus in on only demand and not the supply side, you're going to have issues with the economy, specifically inflation. Inflation has been super stubborn. This is not going to help, but it still goes back to you borrow money, you got to pay it.
It's as simple as that, Dan, honestly. Finally, I kind of love this story. So Costco may have its finger on the pulse of the American people, the retail warehouse giant. Okay, they began selling gold bars this week at Costco bargain price. Seth, what is going on here? I mean, are they kind of cashing in on Senator Menendez's troubles here? I mean, they sell everything now, gold bars.
I mean, why not? Right? I mean, listen, Costco's positioning says, well, last week we did a story about medications and them getting into kind of the pharmacy distribution business at a greater expanse, and now this. I mean, Costco's got their pulse on the American economy. I mean, their gold bars are selling out like crazy. It's driving people to their stores. And here's the thing, Alex, and this is a really important point. Even if Costco doesn't necessarily make a lot of money off the gold bar, it gets people into their stores where they make a lot of money on other stuff. Loss leaders, they sometimes help drive a lot of profit.
There you go. And look, hey, we're talking about it. So there you go.
Alex,
go ahead.
Keep one thing in mind. from an investor standpoint, gold's up 15% this year and 55% over the last 5 years. It's a great investment.
Ooh, there you go. Dan, that's a fantastic point to end on right there. I love you chiming in. Seth Denson, Dan Geltrude, so fun to have you both on. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Alex.
All right.